morning. Today I am going to install a couple of fans on MIG. I'm installing 2 fans in the forward cabin, and later on when I'm on the aft cabin I will install 2 fans in the aft cabin as well, one for each side where you sleep. I haven't done the varnishing in there yet, so I'm not ready to do it, but I am pretty much finished with the varnishing in here. I've got some sealing patches to do, and the hatch around here I need to sand that down and varnish that. I don't really need to, but I bet it's gonna look pretty if it's done, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. The rest of this turned out really well. Today I'm going to install a couple of Caframo fans. The ones that I like to use are these ones. And for some reason they don't seem very popular. I don't see them on boats a lot. When I used to deliver sailboats, I think out of all the boats I delivered, and I delivered a lot, I only had maybe one that had these fans on them. When we lived on the boat for all those years in the Caribbean with the kids, we had 7 of these little guys going throughout the boat, and they basically were on 24/7 they last a year. They last 1 year. The little motor in there burns out, but that's running them 24/7. So I felt like you get your $45 or whatever they cost, about $45. If you can run it for a year 24/7. And then somebody asked me one time if I just replaced the little motor in here, and I never did that. I might be inclined to do that now that I've rewired the whole boat and all. But these are pretty simple to install. You just bolt them up to the wall and bolt the little plate up to the wall, and then hook them up and then wire them. And I've got all the wire run for fans, so it shouldn't take me long. So let's get started on this. Okay, let's see what's in the box here. Let me open it up. Oops. There's your little fan blade. I like the fact that they aren't covered. You know, the little Hella fans that everybody uses, those ones have a cage around them, and it works great when they first start, when you first get them, or if you use them once in a while. But if you run them a lot, they start to rattle and make a lot of noise. The cage is the culprit, because the fan blade starts to just occasionally touch, and it just makes a sound. It's also very hard to clean those Hella fans, where these ones, you can just pull them off and wash them out in the sink and then put them back. And it's much easier to keep the crap from building up on them, which is another reason those Hella fans start to make noise. They're in the cage, and the back side of the fan, mostly the back side for some reason, builds up with grime and stuff, and then the weight distribution is off a little bit, and so it starts to oscillate a little bit. I would also imagine that affects the life of them. It's not that you can't clean them, it's just very difficult to clean those. You got to basically take the whole cage apart and then clean them, and every time you take the cage apart it gets a little loose. So these are the ticket. I don't know why everybody doesn't use them. And if you're worried about, but it doesn't have a cage, you'll chop your finger off or something. Nah, these are very flexible, and even when it's moving at full speed, it'll hit your finger and it'll just stop, and it doesn't hurt it, and it doesn't hurt your finger. Yeah, they're great. So we got the little fan blade in here. We've got the wiring, obviously. Nice, they tell you which one's positive. I like that. And then here's the little motor. So you take this guy and you basically take it apart right here, I don't even need to look at the instructions because I've done this so many times over the years. So you just take this apart, take that off, take this off, and then you've got this little, you unscrew the little tightener, and you've got this, and that's what you mount on the wall. So let's pick a spot to mount this on the wall. And then I'll get my drill and whatnot, and we can install this thing. Have my Milwaukee impact driver, which I love the quick release of the bits and whatnot. So let's see where we're going to put this first. All right, I'm going to mount this on each side right here. I think maybe I should put it up higher, like up there. I better put one together, move it around, and figure out where I want it. I'm gonna put it right here. There we go. And now, take this guy, put it up here. And okay, that was, believe it or not, well, I guess you could say that the wiring of the thing is the hardest part, but I don't know, I don't think so. This is pretty easy. Okay. Ha! Look what I did. This has to be in there. Here I am like, oh yeah, I've done this lots of times. It's really easy. I was just pre-drilling the holes, really. That's all I was doing, actually. Make sure you put this in there, because apparently you have to have that in there. Alright, so I did run into a little issue. I needed a longer bit for doing this because of the... So I have these. That's one of the nice things about having this Milwaukee set. Alright, let's get that one in the right spot. Oh, man. Oh. Alright. I'm glad that was filmed, because this is my life doing this boat. This is my life. Everything falls. Ah, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Can't get it to... You just need to watch this to experience my angst. Oh my gosh. Where's my regular screwdriver? All right, there we go. Now, I can put this on here. This goes on. It's got a little spot for on the one side of that thing up there for this to embed in. So you got to put it on this way. Put it right through. That fits in there. There we go. And I can cut these off. I don't need so much, I don't think. Okay, I'm gonna get the wiring stuff ready and then I'll turn this back on. Okay, so that, I have a little hole here that I put that through, and then it comes across under here, and it actually almost goes all the way over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook this one up right here in the same spot, basically. And then, there we go. And then I can wire the two of them together and then put them in on my power. And I don't need this little, I had another little piece of cord that I was gonna take across to the second fan, but I can just use the cord that came with it. So, so that's the next step. I'm gonna go ahead and install the other fan right here in the same way that I just did that one. So I guess I can leave it running. Well, that's very irritating. So the little bag that came in the one is not in the other box. So somebody must have taken it out of there. But that's okay because, of course, I have a bazillion little screws that'll work. So I'll just pick one out, pick two out of this thing of screws. That's called eyeballing. My daughter laughs at me. Because I eyeball a lot of stuff instead of measuring it exact. Gets me in trouble sometimes, for sure. I'm not gonna lie, but most times works out just fine. Okay, let's do it tight enough that it'll hold it in place a little bit. Here we go. One more. This one was much easier. Okay. Now it's just wiring those two together. I'll get it all set up and I'll show you what I did, but I'm not gonna bore you with the running of the wires and all that stuff. I know there are people that like it. I don't know. I can't bring myself to put that kind of stuff on here. I'm putting two wires together, both positives, both negatives, and then I'm wiring them into the main power source that I've run. That's it. And then I'll show you what it looks like in the end. There we go. Got it wired up, both of them together and into the main power source. And now I'm just gonna heat up these heat shrinks. Hopefully we're not gonna get any water in this area, but it is possible. There's a scupper over there that has leaked in the past. I've fixed it, so hopefully it's not going to leak again, but I really don't want it to. It's just better to heat shrink them anyway. There we go. So now I can tidy up these wires now. Tuck that back there. Tidy these up and put them up in under behind that. And then I'll turn this back on when I'm ready to test the fans and see if they work. Okay, so now I have both fans wired up. I forgot to put these on. So just like before, you know, I said, oh yeah, I've done this so many times. I can do it in my sleep. And then I forget to do something that's important. I don't need to read no instructions. I know, that's poor grammar. I'm just kidding around. I don't actually speak that way. Mom, if you're watching. Oh, my mom doesn't watch this stuff. She probably would. Like if I was there to show it to her, but she doesn't navigate YouTube, generally speaking. Alright, so that wasn't hard. Now I can set this up where I want it. I can put the little fan blade on. It just pushes on just like that. And do the other side. Same thing to the other side, which I also forgot to do. So I'm going to do that now. The other Caframo fans are good, the ones that they have that are caged, but they still have the same issues as far as gunk building up on the... They are much quieter though than the Hella fans, I have to say, to be honest. But, so they are still a better fan, the Caframo caged fans, than the Hella ones, in my opinion. And I am not sponsored by either one, of course. They don't care if my 4 viewers watch my channel. I'm just giving you honest information based on real past experience. Okay. Those are ready now to try. The only thing I have left to do is put a fuse in, and then I can turn them on. I'll show you the fuses. Okay, the fuses, fans are right here on this end. The power is off to the batteries. So I open this one up. I go to this end one right here, and I will put in this little 10 amp fuse, and should be good. Might need more than 10 amps. I'm running 4 fans all at once. Well, we'll see. Alright. I can't hold the camera and do that, so you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this blade fuse in this little fuse holder, and then I'm going to turn on the battery, I'll show you that stuff. Okay, so now we will turn on house. There we go. And we will turn on fans. Now, unless I've messed up somewhere else along the way, these guys should work. Presto. And they are adjustable. You can move them around. Probably put them about like that. It's pretty good. And now watch. See? Won't hurt you a bit if you touch them. Very easy to clean. Fans are in the forward cabin.
Together